endless deserts, distant horizons, all full of life. Namibia is a land of 1,000 faces and unique stories. The Namib, the oldest desert, one of the driest places on Earth. The empire of the adaptable. To survive here, it pays to be clever and have tricks up your sleeve. Drought and heat define life in the Namib. It hasn't rained here for years. The last desert elephants are suffering the longest drought in decades. Only about 150 remain, crisscrossing the desert. Led by a matriarch, the desert elephants live in small herds. Every day they travel long distances in search of water and food. This group has a goal: a dried-up riverbed in the middle of nowhere. They can even find food here. A couple of bare plants, but better than nothing. The fruits of the Camelthorn tree are especially popular. This tree offers fruits, leaves, and bark the whole year round. Elephants can cope with even the thorniest branches. Desert elephants move up and down the dried-up riverbeds where most plants are found. In the middle of the day, temperatures rise to 40 degrees or even higher. Time to look for shade. The riverbed offers that too. Here in the protection of the trees live their namesake, the elephant shrew. They say elephants are scared of mice because they might climb into their trunks. That's not true. These elephants aren't worried. And anyway, elephant shrews aren't related to elephants or shrews. These little bustlers are monogamous, sticking to one partner all their lives. Apart from that, we know little about them. They mostly eat insects, but also different plants. They use their mobile proboscis to scan the area for food scents, just like elephants. Like all the Namib's inhabitants, elephant shrews face two challenges: extreme temperatures and a shortage of water. But their kidneys are specially adapted to store water and so to regulate their body temperature. They survive on relatively few fluids, and they're perfectly happy in the heat. This sandy Namib desert is a dynamic habitat. Nothing is certain here but change. The wind constantly reshapes the dunes. Forever forming magical images, fleeting works of art on their slopes. But the hot winds float organic material too, especially dead plants, to the dunes. Food for small animals like beetles. Organic residue is a vital element in the fabric of life in the desert. The Namqua chameleon is another champion of survival. Unlike most other chameleons, it isn't a good climber. It spends most of its time on the ground. It changes color according to the temperature and the amount of sunlight. That's how it regulates its body temperature too. It has highly developed eyes. They move and focus independently of one another. Nothing escapes its sharp sight. Its sticky catapult tongue strikes with great accuracy at 1.5 times its body length. That'll do for today. A strange plant grows. The Welwitschia. It may not look like it, but the Welwitschia has just 2 leaves. They grow extremely slowly, and over time they're shredded by the wind and by animals. This one is more than 100 years old. Some live for 1,000 years. Everything about them is optimized for saving water. Welwitschias come in 2 genders. Some have male blossoms, some female. Bugs are very familiar with Welwitschias. Their proboscis-like mouthparts drill into the buds to suck the nectar and sap. Many animals use the Welwitschias. The Namqua chameleon escapes the hot sand and cools off in the gentle breeze. With the extra advantage of distance from the horned adder, dozing in the shadow of the leaves. Difficult to believe, but there is life in this barren wasteland. Well-adapted animals find their niche here. Like the horned adder. A tatrak chat would be perfect prey. But the birds have spotted their enemy. The chats sound the alarm. They try to chase the snake away. It works. A thoroughly intimidated snake makes its escape. The Namib has been shaped for 80 million years by wind, water, and heat. It consists mainly of sand, scree, and jagged mountains. 95,000 square kilometers of one of the least welcoming places on Earth. But it's quite different on the coast. Here, Atlantic breakers meet steep cliffs and broad beaches in a new world. The cool Benguela current brings oxygen-rich, nutritious waters from the Antarctic. Plankton attracts huge shoals of fish. That in turn bring on the fur seals. South African fur seals inhabit Namibia's coasts in great colonies. Especially now, in the mating season, these colonies are full to bursting. Hardly a free space on the rocks or on the beach. This female has found a little peace to give birth to her single pup this year. Mother and baby immediately bond, absorbing each other's scent and call. They'll always recognize each other this way. Some colonies stretch for kilometers with more than 200,000 individuals. Fur seals were almost wiped out in the 19th century, but numbers have since recovered. A mother guards her baby carefully, for there is danger from her own ranks. Disputes in this crowd can often end badly for the young. The mothers aren't always there to look after the pups. They have to eat to provide their rich milk, so they spend days at a time hunting. In that time, there's no one to look after the young. They gather in nurseries. It's safer in the group. Fur seals are creatures of habit. Most return to their birth colony and seek the same places every year. In the middle of the day, the sun is pitiless, and the babies left behind suffer in the heat. The sea could be the place to cool off, but the babies can't swim. One desperately searches for its mother. The weaker cubs can't survive this for long and die of thirst in the sun. Mothers only look after their own young, a bitter experience for this lonely baby. It can do nothing but hope its mother will return soon. Finally, after several days away, the mother comes back to the colony. Now she just has to find her baby. And she will, even in this turmoil. After so many long days, the youngster drinks its fill again. And the mother can really rest. The cool Benguela current is the Namib's lifeline. It's a regular fog machine. Fog banks form offshore, and almost every day they cover the coastal desert. With the right weather, the fog reaches far inland, up to 60 kilometers into the realm of the desert elephants. With no rain for years, there's still morning fog 40 days a year. The fog is extremely important for all life in the desert. Like many animals, the Namib sand gecko quenches its thirst from the fog that settles on its eyes and its skin. But for how long? Scientists fear that global warming could affect the Benguela current. That would mean less fog penetrating less far inland. A disaster for the fog-basking beetle. Standing on the ridge of the dunes, its mouthparts capture the moisture that flows down its back. For this creature, as for many other animals, the fog is the only source of water. What would a fog-basking beetle do without fog? Later in the morning, the thirsty animals disappear as the sun disperses the fog. Maybe they'll be back tomorrow night. The dunes of the Namib are the highest in the world, up to 400 meters. This is the home of the Oryx, Namibia's national animal. Few inhabitants of the desert are so well adapted to life in heat and drought. This antelope can survive without water for days and weeks, getting all the moisture it needs from plants. An oryx's body temperature can rise to 45 degrees, compared to the typical 38 for mammals, without any ill effects. It even regulates the temperature of its brain. Extreme adaptation to an extreme habitat. Much of the Namib is of sand. This is a bizarre world. A sidewinder causes a minuscule avalanche. The slightest stimulus can have a huge effect in the sea of sand. Who'd have thought a small poisonous snake could cause this? Its name perfectly sums up its style of locomotion. As it sidewinds, only a small, constantly changing part of its body is in contact with the hot sand. A trick to cope with the extreme heat of the Namib. And sidewinding also lets it slide over the loose, shifting sand. Another resident of the sand world, the shovel-snouted lizard. It stretches its body up and away from the sand where it's a few degrees cooler. But this little lizard has another trick to escape the boiling sand. Dancing the heat dance makes for the least possible contact with the ground. The lizard has foot pads that shift it at lightning speed over the sand. But when you move so fast, you might not spot the danger. Small reptiles are a sidewinder's favorite prey. A shovel-like snout and broad feet are lifesavers. In seconds, it disappears into the sand. Nothing for the snake this time. But it has another strategy. It can dig too. It can wait days for a victim like this. In the interior, temperatures over 50 degrees are no rarity. Extreme conditions, especially for giants. Add long legs to a long neck, and you get 6 meters in height. There are giraffes here too, but the drought of recent years has been tough on them. No water, no vegetation. They're emaciated. Only tiny leaves remain to still their hunger and their thirst. Their tongue and hairy lips defy even these thorny branches. That's their adaptation to this harsh environment. In the dried-out riverbed, elephants doze in the shadows. The elephant shrew has sought out shade too. But time to end the siesta. Few animals need as little sleep as elephants. 2 or 3 hours a day are enough. And then they're off again. The matriarch guides her herd safely through the desert. Her route takes them along ancient beaten tracks in glowing heat. As though the matriarch has a map in her head. An elephant never forgets. Choosing the wrong route would be a death sentence. After many kilometers, the great creatures reach their goal. An underground spring surfaces here. This source doesn't dry up in the most severe drought. The elephants know that. The spring is vital for their survival. Each elephant drinks up to 150 liters at a time, almost a full bathtub. And a chance to cool down, too. they set off again. After the waterhole, the Camelthorn tree is the Namib's next great treasure. It reaches a height of 18 meters, but its roots dig up to 60 meters into the earth to find the last drops of water. Its blossoms are just a few centimeters across, but they're an important food source for many insects. This tree gives shade to the animals of the desert. For many, life would scarcely be possible without it. The Camelthorn tree is one of the most common in the Namib. The big brown fruit of the Anna tree are also an important source of food. But elephants like the little round fruits of the Camelthorn tree even more. An adult eats up to 200 kilos a day. Its trunk is the ideal tool for eating. Grasping the food like a hand, there's nothing like it in the whole animal kingdom. The trunk is highly sensitive and extremely powerful. More than 1,000 muscles give it strength, flexibility, and precision. And countless nerve endings mean fingertip sensitivity. Something's happening in the interior of the Namib. Storm clouds. It starts gently, and then it breaks out. This is what they've been waiting for so long. First rivulets form, join together, suddenly, out of nowhere, masses of water are flowing down the dried-up riverbed. For the first time in years. The floodwaters already have quite a journey behind them. The rains fell kilometers away in the hinterland. The river usually only flows briefly. After a few hours, the spectacle is over. Yet for plants and animals, it brings life. It increases the survival chances of the highly endangered black rhino, already decimated by poaching. However well adapted, every inhabitant of the desert avidly quenches their thirst. Who knows when there'll be another opportunity? These temporary rivers rarely reach the sea. Most often the water seeps into the earth on the way. The rains change the face of the Namib, if only for a short time. Round, bare areas now show up clearly in green grass. These are the fairy circles, probably the work of termites. Oryx gather in big herds at the green places. Suddenly, desert inhabitants have food in abundance. But the drought will soon return. The time of plenty is short. The green desert, a limited season only. Soon the colors will disappear. The ostriches and their chicks can still pick from an embarrassment of riches. The little ones are just a few days old. The adults are vigilant parents, but there's no need to worry about the bat-eared fox. The chicks stay close to their parents, but they watch out. They don't want to mess with those feet. The grown-ups are the only shade for miles around. The heat is bearable here. If only the shadow wouldn't keep moving. Ostriches are animals of superlatives. They're the world's biggest living birds. Males reach a height of 2.5 meters and can weigh up to 130 kilos. Their sharp eyes are the biggest of all land vertebrates. Takes only a year for the chicks to reach their parents' size, and with a bit of luck, they'll live for 40 years. In the interior of the Namib, it does occasionally rain. On the coast, hardly ever. Where the sea of sand meets the ocean, a very special animal has its home, the brown hyena. This predator is also called the strand wolf. It's reached its goal, the seal colony. It visits every couple of days. Its appearance causes unrest in the colony. In the water, the seals are safe for the time being. But the hyena knows where it can find something to eat. Just a few leftovers of skin, hide, fur, and bones. But this seal graveyard won't satisfy it. Black-backed jackals are also on the lookout for prey. The hyena dives back into the colony. All the young are protected, and it doesn't dare challenge an adult. Waiting for the right moment. The hyena knows its territory. There's a place where young seals are unattended. It's almost too easy. The hyena's success draws the jackal. But the hyena doesn't plan on sharing its prize. Its powerful jaws easily crush bones. The jackal has to seek its own prey. And it can manage on its own. It's slaughter. Every season, up to a third of young fall prey to predators. It may seem cruel, but nature has factored in these losses. Neither jackals nor hyenas threaten the overall numbers of fur seals. Only one predator has done that: humans. The hyena is still looking for prey. The jackals are still hungry too. Well-guarded youngsters have a chance. Alone, they're defenseless. Jackals grab every chance they get. But now the hyenas had enough. It can eat its prey in peace, far away from the competition. The Namib, a desert of 1,000 faces, miracles, and stories. In the language of the indigenous peoples, Namib means the empty place. But if you look closely, everything here is full of life, and of animals that have managed to adapt to the extreme conditions. This is still a life at the limit in the oldest desert on Earth.